Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
In the year 2250, Earth had become a hub of intergalactic interaction, a melting pot of cultures, ideologies, and species. Towering glass skyscrapers gleamed under the sunshine, their reflections intermingling with the flying carriages that crisscrossed the sky. Despite the technological advancements and the underlying promise of unity, a subtle current of conflict brewed beneath the surface. Riley Hudson stood at the edge of a busy plaza, watching a group of aliens, vividly colored beings from the distant planet of Arelon, interact with local humans. Laughter mingled with urgency, yet one thing was palpable: the invisible wall that separated their worlds. Humans had grown accustomed to sharing their planet with other species, yet those entwined in romantic encounters often found themselves ostracized, caught between love and societal expectations. Riley took a deep breath, fidgeting with the bracelet that the alien bride had gifted him in their last meeting, a beautiful piece woven with strands of Arelon lightstone. It pulsed faintly, a tangible reminder of their connection and the promise of the clandestine meeting awaiting him later that evening. As a human who dared to pursue a relationship with an alien, Riley felt both exhilarated and fearful. What if today was the day that revelations changed their fates forever? The day continued with excitement, but brought with it a nagging anxiety. He was drawn to the alien bride, Alicia, with her iridescent skin and captivating, multifaceted eyes that reflected a galaxy of stars. Alicia had been promised to another, a powerful leader back on Arelon, who demanded loyalty above all else. Yet, in their stolen moments together, surrounded by secrecy, there was an understanding that transcended their differences. The hour approached, and Riley arrived at the designated meeting place, a hidden alcove near the edges of the bustling city, cloaked in shadow and adorned with wildflowers that seemed to glow with bioluminescence. It was here that their love had flourished, isolated from a scheming world outside. When Alicia emerged from the shadows, Riley's breath caught in his throat. She glided toward him, a vision infused with the grace of her people. The weight of their worlds seemed to evaporate as their eyes met. "Riley," she whispered, her otherworldly voice wrapping around him like a warm embrace. "I feared you would not come." "Never," he replied, stepping closer. "Not when we have so much left to say, so much left to do." But beneath her sweet smile, Riley sensed her uncertainty. "What if everything changes?" she asked softly, glancing to the side as though the eyes of her world were watching. "In our hearts, we make our own destiny," he reassured her, reaching for her hands. "Together, we can face whatever comes our way." As their fingers intertwined, a soft glow emanated from their mingling skin. The world around them felt vividly alive, hinting at the extraordinary lengths they would go to for one another. In that moment, it became clear that the love they shared was incomprehensible to others, yet somehow, it felt like the most natural thing in the universe. Yet even as they stood locked in this embrace, the specter of disapproval loomed large. Outside forces threatened to intervene in their union, and both were aware that time was not on their side. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of saffron and violet, Riley knew it was only a matter of time before their destinies collided with the expectations of their societies. But for now, in this fleeting moment, all that mattered were the two of them, hidden away from the prying eyes of a world that insisted they live apart. The stars twinkled brightly against the velvet backdrop of night, but it was the perspectives of 1,000 futures, two worlds colliding, that danced before Riley's mind. As he and Alicia settled into the cozy alcove, their surroundings whispered stories of ancient legacies. Here, nature thrived, but melancholy lingered in the air, a reminder of the friction between humanity and the alien civilizations that now danced along the periphery of existence. Alicia hailed from Arelon, a planet where vibrant flora thrived under swirling indigo skies. It was a world of beauty, but also one of strict adherence to tradition. The Arelonians were a proud race, known for their mastery of telepathy and their ability to manipulate light, physically manifesting emotional energy through luminescence. Connected to the natural world, they held a deep reverence for their predecessors, whose beliefs shaped their present. Female Arelonians, like Alicia, were often seen as crucial vessels of legacy. Daughters trained from a young age to fulfill roles that balanced loyalty to their family's name and duty to their society. Alicia, however, felt the weight of expectation heavy on her shoulders. She was meant to ascend to a political union with the formidable Commander Torin, a leader whose ambitions overshadowed even the brightest stars. Living with purpose does not come without sacrifice, Alicia confessed, her voice tinged with sorrow. The glow from her skin flickered, betraying her inner turmoil. I'm destined to bring peace to my people, and that means stepping into a life that I did not choose. Riley nodded gravely, aware of the burdens placed on Alicia. But what happens to the love we've built? What kind of peace would that be if it comes at the expense of our hearts? Human emotions are different from ours, Alicia said, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. Our empathic connections, while profound, can be managed for the sake of duty. Despite her words, Riley could see the conflict waging within her, igniting a fire of hope in his heart. Riley understood that every moment spent together was a defiance against the established order. The stark contrast between human society and Erelon's rigid customs felt like a chasm between worlds. He looked up at the stars, envisioning the divide. Humans had embraced cultural exchanges, celebrating diversity and forming bonds. However, fear and ignorance could ignite violence, leading to interspecies tensions that had marred their history. Alicia's kin held strong views about humans, a mixture of fascination and suspicion. To them, humans were often seen as unpredictable and emotional, while Riley experienced Aralonians as enchanting yet ensnared by tradition. Their viewpoints clashed like tectonic plates, each shaking the foundation of their love. In the shadow of their hidden alcove, Riley and Alicia made distant plans, dreaming of what life could be if they accompanied each other on their journeys. But reality loomed, with societal expectations lurking at every corner, willing to shatter their dreams at any moment. The alcove felt like a realm apart from the city, a space infused with rare flowers pulsating in a radiant glow, evidently a result of Erelon's unique bioluminescent ecosystem. Vines twisted around the walls, their touch delicate like Alicia's fingers, which felt both ethereal and grounding. The air filled with a sweet fragrance, intertwining their senses and casting away doubts, at least temporarily. Suddenly, Alicia stepped back, her expression serious. I was given a choice today. I must leave this place and join Commander Torin's court to discuss terms of the alliance. Her words hung in the air like a bolt of lightning, charging the atmosphere with dread. No, you can't, Riley exclaimed, a rush of urgency coursing through him. You are more than an ambassador, Alicia. You are meant to live your truth. I cannot ignore my duty, she replied, her voice firm yet soft. But if you were by my side, perhaps we could shift the currents of tradition together. Riley felt a surge of determination as Alicia's words took root in his heart. Together, they could navigate the tangled waters of political and emotional entanglement, finding solace and strength in unity. The stars above bore witness to their resolve, and in that moment, the sensation of boundaries, once deemed immutable, began to dissolve around them. The power of love, in all its complexity, sparked a promise that went beyond cultural definitions into the realm of shared destinies. As the night deepened, Riley and Alicia sat enveloped by the warmth of shared dreams and the electric tension of unspoken fears. It was in this intimate cocoon that each began to unveil the layers that defined them, the origins of their hopes, the weight of their struggles, and the glimmers of courage they clung to amid uncertainty. Riley Hudson's journey had not been easy. Born into a world where humans were encouraged to embrace what was different, he still faced his share of prejudice. He had always possessed an insatiable curiosity about life beyond the stars. Fascinated by the stories of travelers and explorers, Riley spent his formative years studying interspecies diplomacy at the Earth Academy, where he was taught the value of understanding, empathy, and coexistence. Yet, being a human who dared to seek love with an alien was both a bold declaration and a risky gamble. His friends often broached the topic with skepticism. Connections with aliens could lead to heartache. But Riley remained undeterred, driven by a longing for emotional companionship that went beyond the flesh. a love that could bridge worlds. As he looked into Alicia's brilliant eyes, Riley shared stories of his travels across Earth's landscapes, from the bustling metropolises to the quiet, green valleys. "There's so much beauty and diversity," he said excitedly, recalling moments that had shaped him. "I believe that every connection, no matter how small, opens new doors, like a key reviving forgotten paths." "I envy that freedom you have," Alicia said, the glow of her skin flickering like fireflies at dusk. "You honor your emotions. I have been taught to control them, to mask them, especially as an Aralonian maiden. It's a delicate balance to fulfill my duty, yet I long for your bravery." His heart swelled, knowing such feelings had grown within her amidst the cold expectations of her world. Alicia was a creature woven from the fabric of two worlds, one imbued with the traditions of her people, and the other sparkling with the raw passion of humanity. Raised in a noble family, she had been molded for one purpose: to strengthen alliances between Aralon and other planet inhabitants through marriage. The bond she shared with Riley was broad and expansive, betraying her cultural conditioning. It was an intoxicating blend of adventurous sparks, colliding with the undeniable dread of societal disapproval. "Sometimes I wonder if I became the version of myself that my people expected," she confessed, her voice soft but resonating with a strength he admired. "I've always felt so small under the weight of my title, the future bride of Commander Torin. The title feels cold compared to what we share, a simple Alicia who loves you." "Then don't let it define you," Riley urged, moving closer. "You can carve your own identity, even create a new legacy together." The thought ignited something fierce within her, changing how she perceived the looming choices ahead. As the weight of her noble lineage bore down, she clung tightly to Riley's hand. She realized she had to face the turbulent waters of an upcoming court meeting with newfound resolve. Their connection could ripple across her planet and reshape destinies, if only she could summon the strength to choose love. They shared moments, laughter intertwined with bursts of vulnerability, revealing glimmers of their life ambitions. Alicia, despite her cultural restraints, spoke of her dreams to explore, wander, and create a world more inclusive. "Why can't I see the stars beyond Aralon, a universe with endless possibilities?" Her expression was a blend of yearning and a determination as fierce as the bioluminescent flora around them. "If you want to take that leap, I'll be right there with you," Riley promised. "We can rewrite the rules, redefine what human-alien alliances look like." "Together," she whispered, wonder mixed with the bittersweet truth that their hearts beat for one another, yet their societies pulsed against them. As the night wore on, Riley and Alicia were disrobed of the cloaks of their identities, peering into possibilities. Finally understanding that love could shatter barriers, they held tightly to the intertwined dreams they dared to pursue. The myriad of emotions, standing firm against the world's prejudice, forged a link more profound than either anticipated. Exhausted yet hopeful, they settled into silence, punctuated by the sound of rustling leaves, knowing that beyond their alcove lay a chaos of duty and the intoxicating thrill of uncertainty. Together, they had become warriors of love, willing to navigate the tumultuous pathways ahead, hand in hand. As dawn broke over the horizon, casting a golden hue across the earth, Riley and Alicia knew their moment of respite had come to an end. They lingered in the alcove, hearts entwined with hope yet tethered to an impending storm. The air was thick with the impending decisions that had to be faced, and as reality crept back into their lives, they braced themselves for the challenges ahead. Their secret meetings, though filled with joy, had a tension that coursed silently beneath the surface. Each encounter was a balancing act between the suffocating expectations of their worlds and the exhilarating freedom they found in each other. In the days that followed, they made it a point to cherish every moment, delving into heartfelt conversations and tender expressions of affection. One evening, as they wandered under the light of a crescent moon, Riley suggested a daring pursuit, an excursion to Aralon's lush bioluminescent fields. "They say the flowers bloom in colors you've never imagined, lit not by the sun, but by the stars themselves," he said, excitement lighting up his face. Alicia's expression shifted. "But I'd risk exposure, Riley. If I am caught, the consequences," she trailed off, visions of her family's disappointment flickering behind her eyes. "I can't bear to see you living for anyone but yourself," he replied, determination weaving into his voice. "We need to experience those places together, where our love can exist freely." After much deliberation, Alicia gave in, led by the promise of exploration and the spark of rebellion. They set off under the cover of night, navigating through swirling nebulas of light and color, hand in hand. For them, time stood still as they became enveloped by the beauty of the Arelon landscape. Each new sight molded their bond deeper, expanding their connection and igniting their imaginations. That night, they shared their stories under the shimmer of luminescent blooms, basking in vulnerability and acceptance. They danced together, laughing, joy burgeoning in the absence of judgment. However, the weight of impending responsibilities loomed large, a constant reminder that each radiant laugh concealed an unseen threat. Upon returning to the alcove, however, the joyous memory was shattered when Alicia received an urgent communication. The official messenger had arrived, a looming figure adorned in the traditional attire of her culture, his presence stark against their sacred space. "Lady Alicia," he addressed her without preamble, authority woven into his voice. "You are required at the council meeting. Your marriage to Commander Torin is to be finalized. Your absence cannot be tolerated." His expression was unreadable, and the message hung heavily in the air, tearing through the fragile illusion they had created. Riley's heart sank, understanding the weight of the news in Alicia's eyes. She was being boxed in, a pawn in a game she had not chosen to play. Too horrified to speak, she stood frozen, a world of dreams recoiling around her. "You must go," Riley urged gently, pain evident in his voice. "It's your duty." "No," Alicia interrupted, fury twisting through her calm exterior. "I am not merely a vessel to be traded for a political alliance." With each word, she seemed to find a sliver of her fire, igniting remembrance of the passion they had just shared. The messenger remained impassive. "Your duty is your priority. There is no room for rebellion," he replied coldly. Emotions swirled as they exchanged glances, each feeling the pains of responsibility pressed down on them. Riley took a step forward, feeling protective. "Alicia is more than just an obligation. You cannot force her into a marriage she does not choose." A sharp retort from the messenger emerged. "Her choice is not in question. Arelon's future rests on this alliance." Riley's resolve deepened, igniting anger within him. No alliance built on forced love can survive. If you truly care for your people, consider that. The situation reached a critical point as Alicia grappled with the encroaching expectations. The messenger's presence intensified, revealing the clash of loyalty to her heritage versus to her heart. How far would she go to defy the weight of tradition? As the messenger departed, the tension crackled in the stillness between Riley and Alicia. She lowered her gaze, tears shimmering in her eyes. "What if I cannot escape this fate? What if love is not enough?" Riley took her hands firmly, feeling the warmth radiate from her trembling fingers. "You are stronger than this, Alicia. We can face them together. Love is the truest weapon we have against this intolerance. But what is it worth if it places you in danger?" Alicia challenged, a blend of fear and doubt mingling in her voice. The thought of him suffering due to their bond twisted in her chest, darkening the hope they had shared. "Danger is transient. My love for you is not," Riley asserted, igniting a flicker of determination deep within her. "Healthy, thriving lives can blossom from conflict if we have the will to push back against the storms we face." Their hearts thudded in synchrony, each advocating for the strength of their love, yet with the knowledge that its power would be tested. In that moment, they resolved to confront the encroaching shadows together, ready to redefine their identities beyond the limitations their cultures imposed. Swearing to overcome the inevitable turmoil that lay ahead, they pressed forward, preparing for the harrowing choices that would shape their fates. Together, they were ready to defy tradition and carve a path toward a shared future, no matter the obstacles they might face. As days turned into a blur of urgent preparations, the tension between Riley and Alicia only intensified. With the council meeting looming, Alicia felt the suffocating pressure of duty, as well as the fierce yearning for the love she and Riley nurtured. Each encounter, each touch, weighed heavily with the knowledge of the impending crossroads. Their longing reached a crescendo one quiet evening beneath the glow of the bioluminescent flora. The air thick with anticipation and unspoken words, Riley pulled Alicia into his arms. The flickering light around them cast enchanting shadows, enveloping them in a world that belonged solely to their hearts. "Riley," Alicia breathed, her voice trembling. "I cannot deny what we've become. The emotions, the dreams together. We've ignited something beyond measure. We must solidify this bond, our mating, before the world can tear us apart." Riley's heart raced, an electrifying thrill coursing through him. "Then let's do so, Alicia. Let us choose this life, our love, and embrace what we are to one another." He gently brushed his fingers along her cheek, drawing her in closer. In that sacred moment, they surrendered to the magnetic attraction that had long festered between them. The world around them faded as they united in a primal expression of love, an intertwining of their souls as they mated beneath the watchful stars. With every breath, every heartbeat, they built a bridge between their disparate worlds, proclaiming their intentions to the universe. The luminous flowers swayed in rhythm, responding to their bond, whispering affirmations as they became one. Their connection transcended the physical, embodying every aspiration, every defiance of social barriers that had boxed them in. As they lay entwined in the aftermath of their incredible union, a profound sense of clarity washed over them. In their mating, they forged a promise, not only to each other, but to the worlds they belonged to. They would fight for their future against the currents of tradition, emerging stronger side by side. With renewed determination, they prepared to face the Council of Erelon. The day of reckoning arrived with a tension in the air akin to the calm before a storm. Alicia stood resolute at Riley's side as the council convened, filled with members clad in intricate robes, their expressions a mixture of skepticism and intrigue, the weight of tradition pressing down upon them. "Your presence here today honors our ancestral ties," intoned Commander Torin as he addressed Alicia, his gaze icy and calculating. "You are to bind our fates with the strength of your union, ensuring stability for Erelon." "No," Alicia's voice rang clear through the chamber, slicing through the murmur of discontent. "I am not a pawn to be used. My heart belongs to Riley, and together we represent a union that embraces the beauty of diversity." Gasps filled the room. The counselors exchanged incredulous glances, shocked at her defiance. But Riley stood beside her, resolute and unyielding. "There is strength in our bond, an invitation to embrace evolution, not stagnation." He spoke passionately, meeting the gaze of each council member. "Together, we can redefine our worlds." Alicia asserted, her earlier uncertainties melting away. "This marriage is not a weapon for political maneuvering. It is a celebration of choices, a testament to love transcending boundaries." The hall simmered with tension, but Alicia's declaration echoed against the statuesque walls, compelling even the staunchest traditionalists to reconsider. Whispers began to spread, and as she and Riley held each other's gaze, they saw the growth of possibilities blooming in the minds of their audience. What was once seen as a threat to stability may very well be our greatest strength, an elder counselor eventually proclaimed, slowly rising to his feet. "If love can be fearless, so shall we." As murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber, Alicia and Riley exchanged a glance filled with wonder and gratitude. They realized they not only fought for their love, but also sparked a ripple that could alter the lineage of their peoples and create a legacy steeped in acceptance. Together, they had transcended fear. Together, they had carved a path, one not just for themselves, but for all those who dared to love. With a unified nod from the council, Alicia and Riley took their rightful place as partners, not just in love, but in a journey that would bridge worlds and reshape destinies. The stars above them twinkled as if celebrating the dawn of a new era. The thunderous applause that erupted in the council chamber echoed through the hearts of Riley and Alicia as they stood united, shoulder to shoulder. Having faced the storm of doubt and prejudice, they emerged not as conquerors, but as pioneers of a new paradigm, one that honored love as a force for change. With the council's hesitant acceptance of their union, The news of Riley and Alicia's love spread like wildfire throughout both human and Aralonian communities. They became symbols of hope, reminders that love knows no boundaries and can inspire an awakening long overdue. Together, they embarked on outreach initiatives, forging dialogues between humans and Aralonians. They fostered understanding, arranged cultural exchanges, and bridged gaps once thought insurmountable. Gradually, the town squares echoed with laughter and music blending the diverse cultures, creating new melodies of harmony. Alicia often stood before crowds, recounting her journey, embracing her identity as both an Aralonian and a human companion. "We are more alike than we are different," she would proclaim passionately. "Together, we can rewrite our destinies." As months passed, Riley and Alicia began constructing a shared life adorned with warmth, humor, and adventure. They explored the vibrant landscapes of Aralon together, sharing the awe of untouched vistas and the wonders that our world had to offer. Each newfound experience deepened their connection, their hearts anchored by a love that had conquered obstacles both external and internal. Within the confines of their hidden alcove, they reminisced about their journey. It had blossomed from fragmented fears to a profound bond that defied societal expectations, now radiating a light that illuminated the paths ahead. "The beauty of this union," Riley said one night as he traced his fingers along the tendrils of luminescent leaves, "is that it's not merely about us. It's about what we inspire in others when we fearlessly embrace who we truly are." Alicia nodded, her eyes shimmering with gratitude. "As we challenge norms and embrace our truth, we gift others the permission to do the same." As they stood together beneath the starlit sky, Riley felt a sense of peace envelop him. They had forged a new life, one that celebrated their unique origins while redefining what it meant to love beyond societal labels. Eventually, they decided to host a grand ceremony, an official union that would honor both their cultures. Friends and family, humans and Aralonians alike, gathered to witness the occasion. Rituals from both cultures intertwined, showcasing dance, joy, and unity in diversity. Dressed in flowing garments that depicted the essence of their union, Riley and Alicia exchanged vows echoing the promises they had made to one another, all to honor love, acceptance, and courage. "Together, we will navigate life, weaving a tapestry of legacy," Riley spoke, his voice hushed yet resolute. "May our love inspire others to breathe life into their dreams." Alicia nodded, her heart swelling with the weight of their commitment. "We stand here, unabashedly choosing one another, bound not by duty but by unyielding love." As they sealed their vows with a kiss, fireworks erupted in a burst of color over the horizon, illuminating the dark sky like the resonance of their joined hearts. The world around them hummed with promise, a future where love could triumph over tradition. In that moment of unity, Riley and Alicia had not only created a legacy for themselves, but also for those who would dare to love fearlessly. They no longer viewed love as a mere choice or a rebellion against convention. It had become a story that would echo through the ages, a powerful testament that transcended wounds, bridging to create something infinitely more beautiful than either could have imagined. With the stars twinkling above them, their hearts alight with hope, they stood as expressions of the universe's limitless potential, a couple who had fulfilled their duty to love, inspire, and pave the way for a tomorrow built on the serenity of acceptance.